Yeah, it's been a long time. I've had this thing for oh man, not a year, but I got it sometime last year, and I've been staring at it nonstop every time I come here to fix something else. So, dude, it's time to actually break into this car and build it into the drift car that I want. Yeah, I've been thinking about it constantly. I have probably everything I need to put it back together. So it's finally time for me to do it. So let's go over a few things real quick. Had to buy a new grinder recently, which this car is going to see plenty of. So let's start with the obvious. And the obvious being, we've got no engine and transmission, which is fine. The engine and transmission is going to be this one and one of these two, but I've kind of got it up in the air. I have an 01A inside of my garage that I would much rather sacrifice for drift, but that 5-speed I also might, sacrifice for like a really goofy swap on something else. This motor was a really good running and driving motor out of an A6 that I recently tore down for parts after reviving it. That was a pretty cool video. I recorded the whole thing. I just have not put it together. But this motor was the very first 2.7 that I have ever owned, and it came in a B6 A4 that was 2.7 swapped. This motor, basically the heads and pistons got smoked. So the only thing that was good, mostly, was the block. So I picked up another 2.7 and I rebuilt this one out of that 2.7. That 2.7 had problems of its own. So basically I just took all the best parts out of two motors, put them together in this one. This is a rebuilt motor with used parts. The terrible thing is that this motor originally was like a really nice crate motor. So unfortunately I had to swap it with used heads, but I mean 2 years ago I did a really good job of cleaning this thing up and tearing it apart and resealing it with brand new stuff. I didn't do the cam, the camshaft seals, and I think I replaced these rear caps. So at the very least I did that. One thing I'm gonna have to redo is because I did the same thing to my purple S4 and I know now that they're not gonna work. This cap right here, although actually this one might be the right one. This might actually be the correct coolant cap cover. This I capped off, and let's see, I believe there should be, yeah, right here. See, that is already splitting into pieces. I sealed that. This was supposed to be caps for coolant plugs, and obviously they're not gonna work. That's gonna leak like crazy. After the winter was over this year, beginning of this year, I fired this thing up the first time and it was just spraying coolant everywhere. So I figured out that what had happened was that these coolant plugs that I plugged just cracked over time. So is this seal any good? No, that was trash too. I have to get a new seal. So honestly, as far as a drift car goes, this is the motor I'm going to sacrifice for it. I'm really curious to finally put it into something to see how it goes. the plan for this motor is to go E85, run water meth, and I'm going to keep the twins on this thing. We're going to stay KO3, but I'm going to relocate the KO3s to overhead top mount. You know, with these headers, they sit down here, and the turbo sits right around here in this position. Now for a drift car, that's a nightmare for maintenance. Got to pull the entire powertrain out. So I'm going to try to avoid that, and we're going to relocate the turbos from here somewhere up here, even out of the hood if I have to, and then we'll exit the exhaust to the passenger side, sweeping like this. That's my plan. We're gonna get rid of the coolant lines, and we're just going to oil cool the turbos, because I've got like 13. And I'm not joking, I've got like 13 KO3 turbos sitting around, and they're all seemingly okay. You know, we just pull them off for upgrades. So this engine originally I was gonna do my single turbo build on, but then I picked up my second B5 S4 and went single turbo on that one. And I mean, it's been a pretty decent daily. I've been having so much fun with this thing. Right now it's over boosting. We're hitting 30 pounds of boost, and it's hitting boost cutoff. So we're supposed to be running 25 pounds of boost. So yeah. Also, I have another 2.7 right here. This actually has a bunch of ARP goodies. So this one I might end up, you know, building up. Haven't decided yet, because this one's complete, and I would rather start with building a complete motor. Putting, you know, rods, girdle, all the good stuff, and then throwing 40 pounds of boost at it. But that's in the future. Right now, all my buddies are out racing and drifting, and I'm ready to join them. So I'm gonna do this quick and dirty. I'm gonna try to make this like a 1 week to 2 week process, unless I get stuck somewhere and I have to order parts, which I kind of already did. This is the new sick puck, and our bolts that I need for, you know, flywheel and what is it? Pressure plate, whatever. My biggest worry is I don't currently have the budget for a light flywheel. So against my better judgment, I'm just gonna resurface this guy and use it. Where the hell did I get this? I just realized how gross and rusty it looks. Do I have 2 of these floating around? Hold up. Where did that come from? The only flywheels I should currently have should not be rusty like that. That came out of the 07K. There's the 07K. Does that still have a flywheel on it? Ow. No, it doesn't have a flywheel. Hold on. What is going on? I should have 2 flywheels floating around here. Is that one of my 6-bucks? Oh, that came out of the Skyline. Wait a second. I'm missing like 2 or 3 flywheels. There's a flex plate. All right, well, we'll forget about that. We'll deal with that some other time. We've got this and this. I've also got a bunch of other stuff from Rock Auto. See, now it's gonna bother me. Now I'm gonna lose it until I find it. You know, I'm gonna freak out until I find it. because I don't like misplacing important pieces like that. I need to find that. Anyways, here's where I'm really gonna start. The interior of this car is just absolute garbage. The previous owner, unfortunately, had no interest in taking good care of this car, and it sucks, man, because you know, these black S4s are actually kind of hard to find, and they're one of my favorite colors. We had ourselves a little friendly neighborhood Musketeer, but there's really nothing out of the ordinary with this interior. Honestly, it's junk. I'm not too concerned about it. So we're gonna strip all the interior. One of the saddest things is that all of the window regulators work on this car, which is kind of rare in my experience with B5 S4 so far. But you know, interior shot, and even worse, honestly, the body is shot. And like, oh, he did. Here you go, buddy. You can clearly tell that this got absolutely destroyed at some point. Absolutely hammered. And honestly, somebody straightened it back out good enough, because this closes and latches. It's from a different car though, so I need to take this latch off. We're gonna put basically pins on the side of the trunk. So yeah, the body is just absolutely beat on this car, so I'm not gonna feel bad about it at all. Unfortunately, because it's actually got a bent frame. Nowhere super important, because the car was actually complete whenever we picked it up. But this right here, that frame bent in. This one might actually be bent a little bit, but this one is obviously bent in. So the cool thing is that the front bumper actually fit just fine. So, you know, whatever. But the AC stuff we're taking out. The ABS system I'm taking out. I'm actually gonna put that in the Santorin that I have. So, you know, we're gonna put a bias in here. I do have an e-brake that I've had for a long time, just sitting around. It's kind of a cheapie, you know. I don't really want to use it, but I mean, you know, it's better than nothing. So we'll see what happens. Maybe somebody will want to throw me a decent one, because I don't have much of a budget for this. The fans, I'm gonna have to go aftermarket fan, just because they're super faulty on these cars. I don't want to have to deal with that. So the fan controller, and take it off, clean it up, use it for a different project. Power steering lines, obviously we're gonna do something with that. I'll probably put that on a cooler. Oh, now that I think about it, I believe we took the clutch master out of this car to put it in a different car, so I messed up big time. I just realized that's really gonna set me back. Yeah, okay. That sucks big time. That being said, it should be somewhere around here. Yeah, so here's two of them taken apart. So the biggest problem that I have with these is that the sleeves on the inside were absolutely destroyed. So this one actually looks like it's kind of okay. So I can be a cheap ass and try to put this together, or I can just do, you know, the metal upgraded one, which I absolutely should do the metal upgraded one, because that's a problem that I don't want to have to keep having. It's just the right way to go. So save up for that. But in the meantime, we're gonna hack this car up. We're gonna take everything out that we don't need. And I want the dash out too. I want everything out. AC, dash, any seat that doesn't need to be in there, door cards, window regulators, glass, everything, man. Just to make this thing as bare bones as possible. So we're obviously going to leave the electrical in there. Trying to think. We do have a rear differential and we do have a drive shaft in there, which is huge. The thing is though, here's my current plan. This at one point was the drift guard build, and then I just got carried away. I slapped a giant single turbo on there, and then now it doesn't have any low end power. It's all on the top end. So this has a welded rear differential and a welded center diff. So I want to actually swap this rear diff with that one. What I'm worried about is that this car is a northern car. We went to Wisconsin to pick it up, so I'm sure it's rusty. Actually, I'm positive it's rusty. You don't see it immediately, but it's there. The other side actually has holes in the door. So I'm terrified to actually get under this car. I haven't had the privilege of getting under the car yet. I can't wait to actually beat that out. We're gonna cut this firewall out. Don't really need it. I would rather use it for space for the turbos and the exhaust. I will probably take this hood off. Honestly, I kind of wanted to take this hood off and put on the purple S4 and then reshape the hood, but I kind of want to put a hood scoop on there, just like a very mild one. The exhaust on there is already set up for KO4s or RS6 turbos, is what this motor used to have. So that's actually a pretty nice 3-inch straight pipe that I might use on some different other project. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet, but let's see how that goes. I'm terrified of picking this car up because it's been sitting there for such a long time. I'm sure it's accumulated every single bug, spider, grasshopper, cricket possible. So I'm gonna have to shimmy it over. The other biggest issue is like the rear brakes on this thing. It has one rear brake that's locked up so bad that the dude drove it for so long that half of the brake caliper is gone. I don't know why that happened, but so unfortunately rear brakes are smoked, so I got to do something about that. That's pretty expensive on these B5 S4s. The brake calipers are expensive. They're not cheap, which sucks so bad. I might steal it from another car. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. I guess that's all I can think of for now. What I really need to do is just get started. I'm not gonna have a lot of light in here. I've only got one LED put up. It's better than what it was. And you're unfortunately gonna have to suffer with my fans on. It's 100 degrees outside, man. Like, I gotta have them on. So, yeah, let's start this journey. And then need to put power to the car. What is that button for? This thing had a fuel pump issue when we first got it. The fuel pump was dead. Actually, the fuel pump was probably okay. It was the fact that it wasn't getting 12 volts to the fuel pump, unfortunately. Buddy, what do you do? Absolutely nothing? Why is that even there? What is that? I don't have a clue as to what that thing is. Anyways, God, this car reeks. It's stinky. Just trying to think of where I want to start. This is a cool shift knob. I might actually throw this on my Silver S4. Where do I want to start? What do I want to start? I mean, I honestly want to start with Rat's Nest over there. Let's see. I'll give you a little sneak peek at the back. It's just nothing special. Nothing special about this entire thing. This has been taken apart ever since we picked it up. I went to Diag why we weren't getting any fuel. So it was basically just no 12 volts to the fuel pump. So we sprayed starter fluid into the intake and it fired up like a champ. So, you know, Jordan paid money for it. Basically, this car is free to me. Jordan gave me this car. It's got a good title to it as well, so I'm pretty happy about that. In exchange, I helped him with his personal car. Well, I went to Wisconsin with him to get it. We picked it up. You know, haggled the guy a little bit down. I wasn't able to do much. He was pretty stout on the price, unfortunately, because of all the RS6 goodies on it. And, you know, the powertrain, honestly, it was worth the price that he bought it for. But the shell has absolutely no value to Jordan. And to make it easier for himself, he just gave it to me. I, of course, happily accept it because I'm kind of a B5 S4 nut right now. I don't think I care about any other Audi unless it's like an A5 S4. Sorry, S5. I don't know why the hell I just said that. S5 with the manual 6-speed. I'd go nutty over that. So let's just start with getting the vacuum and sucking all that out. I wish the roof was wide enough to use my, my light bar the way I want to, but unfortunately, it's like this far too long at its minimum setting, which is hilarious. So, get some gloves on, grab my shop vac. Might need to empty it from the last project I used it for, and we're gonna work on getting all that sucked out. And I'll put power to the car and we will then get the seats out. That's really where I want to start tonight, is I want to get the interior taken apart. One thing I should note is I'm taking the gas tank out of this. You know what? I'm actually back and forth on that idea. I'm not sure if I want to take the gas tank out yet or not. I kind of want to, but at the same time, I really don't. I only want to because of what I had to do to Dom's car when his fuel pump stopped getting a 12-volt signal. I rewired that whole thing, and it was pretty sweet. But thankfully, this car is going to help revive that Santorin that I picked up because it has no AC parts and it doesn't have our ABS module and probably a couple other things. I just found another transmission mount, so I'm pretty excited about that. I didn't know I had one, but I found it inside my garage. And this mount should be in the floorboard of the back of the car. I'm procrastinating at this point, man. I don't want to get inside that car, but I need to. I'm just BSing. Sorry. Or something. I should still have power. Oh shit, that's not a good sign. Yeah, that's not good. Shit. What did we do? Why do I not have power? That is very, very bad. Damn it. Oh. We're not grounding correctly. No, it should still be getting power. It's always received power, no matter what. Okay, I'm gonna have to take a minute to figure this out. Okay, it was just a bad connection. I didn't have a good enough clamp on it. Left the key on, so we're beeping. Yep. That is lit. What? This car has 168,000 miles on it? Oh, please don't tell me we really have that much fuel in the tank. Oh, God. Dude, 168,000? There's no way. Oh, my God. You... What a douchebag. I'm pretty sure all the windows work, too. Yeah, look. Oh my God. Even my best S4. No, all 4 windows don't work. Oh, this one. Oh. That switch has seen better days. You've got to be kidding me, bro. The interior lights work? No, they don't. That's surprising. I cannot believe that has 168,000 miles on it. That's ridiculous. This is one of my lowest mileage S4s now. Oh, the boost gauge even more lights up. Ooh. That's not gonna stay there. All right, the seat work. Oh. The tilt doesn't work as much, but thankfully it's at its tallest position. Yeah, it wants to though. I bet if I sat in it, it'd probably move. Oh, okay. So I can move the fronts. Yep. All right, that's perfect. Yes, I can tilt them both up. That way I can get a wrench on the bolts. And honestly, let's get this back seat out before I vomit. All right, huge, very cool. Stay tuned. Oh. This is about the only thing worth keeping. Ow. How is there so much rust in there? There's the pump for locks. Hey, CD disc changer and an amplifier, I think. That's kind of what it looks like. Dude, how can there be? Look at all the rust. How? Dude, look. Oh my god, it got hit so hard. It cranked that in. Both sides. Oh my god. Wow, dude. That's a gnarly accident. Wow. I'm actually very impressed that they even managed to make this work. That lines up perfectly fine. Yeah, I'm gonna take the tank out. We'll cut this out and we'll hang the fuel cell here. Or I'll just cut that out and then put the fuel cell in there. That was... Oh. I wonder if I can... Oh, there's a little bit of life in there. But I was just thinking to myself, I need these because I loaned them out to Logan. Didn't give them back yet. So this, and I got some feeler gauges that I would love to take apart and restore. I love these old sets. These are amazing. You can tell that only a portion of it was actually submerged. Yeah. I am back and forth with this idea. I would much rather have a fuel cell back here and get rid of the factory tank. But in simplistic terms, it would kind of make more sense and it would be more cost effective for me to just rewire the fuel pump and get a 12-volt power in there. Because I mean, the wiring, it's all there. Basically, this is it. This is the wiring to the fuel pump plug. And these are, they're not the worst things in the world. I mean, it's already plumbed. You can tell that, you know, it's never been taken apart. So either the pump is bad or it's just, you know, just the same thing that always happens with these cars. The ECU that was in this car had no power to the pump. So, I mean, The plumbing's already here. I already know that that system can work totally fine. I'm not swapping the motor out, so you know, why waste the time? It's already plumbed still. You know, nothing's cut or severed. Honestly, I might as well just use the factory system, you know? I have everything here to, you know, do it. It wouldn't cost me anything. But I definitely need to check and see if that fuel pump's any good. I highly doubt that it is. But it definitely is possible. The ECU that I pulled out of this car, you know, it was tuned for balls. So I mean, you know, we can do it. But I think that's what I'll do, man. You know, why make it so much difficult? Or so much more difficult than I should, you know? Let's keep it simple. I don't want to overcomplicate things just yet. I will rework the fuel system, you know, in the future. Alright, it's been bothering me for too long. I can't do it anymore. Now that I've actually started this build, I want to smack that dent out. I don't want to make it perfect, but I want to make it better. I will accept that. It is sometimes better doing it at once. Cool. So the front's not the worst. By far not the best. Biggest issue with this side is that guy right there. Yeah, that is broken off and it's just in there. So honestly, I'm just gonna tack weld that, and if this ever breaks, we'll just replace the entire arm, or you know, the entire assembly. It would actually be cheaper to do that. Now, the real magic is back here. This guy we got it from, unfortunately, did this. Look at that. How crazy is that I can fold that. So, the bracket is okay. It's obviously disgusting. It's seen years of deterioration, but I gotta get a new one of these. There's no way this is gonna work out, unfortunately. And I could pull it out of the Santorin, but the Santorin is a complete car, so that'd be a shame. Look how rusty this is, dude. Oh my god, this is gonna suck. These are pretty cheap on Amazon. Might just grab those. Jesus, this camera makes that look a lot better than it is. But this guy is pretty much locked up, unfortunately. So I have that to look forward to. So it is 10 o'clock at night. I think this is a pretty good stopping point. We got the back seats out. completely. We've exposed the trunk area. So tomorrow I will focus on the front section of the interior. We'll work on the doors as well. I do have a car that these doors could go in. I just don't know if I want to. I probably will though, because they're actually in good shape aside from the peeling leather, but you know, the leather is not staying anyways. Yeah, that side is the only good side. But just starting this much kind of motivates me to actually continue on this thing. So this is huge. This fender's actually pretty nice until you get to that part. But I feel much better about, you know, pulling most of the dent out of that fender and straightening it up a little bit. So that's cool. But yeah, you see the rust just sucks on this thing. You know, Northern car, I'm not gonna feel bad about this thing drifting. I like this side's actually kind of okay. Is that even this? Is that the correct side? I'm tripping on that. What? Oh my god, it milled down that much? Holy hell. I don't even know how that's possible. That's impressive. Jesus, dude. Okay. This actually could actually be just rustier, or just, you know, not as rusty as I think, you know. It's ugly, but it seems like mostly surface ugly. I just know that it's gonna suck big time when we put the coil over in this thing. Okay. I'm gonna wrap up for the night. Get back to this in the morning. Ooh. It's hot, dude. It is so hot. I've got no air except for these fans. So I'm gonna try my best to stand in front of them all day, as much as possible. First Red Bull of the day. Where I'm gonna go through 3 or 4 today. Drink plenty of water. Let's see. So got most of the rear taken apart. So I think now I'm gonna start with the front. The goal is to get this entire interior stripped out today at minimum. I think it actually should only just, you know, take me a couple hours to tear it down. Oh my god. And I shouldn't have too many problems. It's not like the interior was the rusty part. Still haven't got onto the car. I'm going to save that for later when I feel like it. I'm not sure if I want to deal with the window regulators or not today. We'll see how the interior goes. Really, I just need to put power. We've already established that the seats, you know, move back and forth just fine. So I just gotta put power to the car, and then I can unbolt the seats, move them forward and back, unbolt them, and I guess put the center console out, and then work on, you know, separating the doors. Definitely getting the carpet out as quickly as possible. It's still pretty rank inside this car, despite, you know, somewhat cleaning it. And I'll probably take a rag and just like dust off the dash and all the leather and stuff, because I still kind of want to actually reuse these door cards. I still have my Nagi, which has no interior, and I honestly need to check to see if the windows actually work on that thing. Didn't even think about that. But for now, let's just focus on taking this apart. It is probably around 10. Oh my god, it's almost 11. I'm late start today. Yeah, let's get to it. Oh my god, I forgot to lock that, and now I am going to lose it. Oh, I can't believe I just did that. That's a brand new set. Dude. Oh my god. Oh my god. I did not have OCD before. Now I feel like I do. Oh, that is crazy. Oh my god. At least let me find the correct socket first. I've got to fix this. Oh, I just pushed it even further back. Oh, I'm still doing it? Cool. Let me come back before I just kill myself. Okay, suicide prevented. You would think birds were perched here. Disgusting. It is so hot outside, or also in here, that I had to put my phone inside my little cooler, a little refrigerator, because it's at 2% battery and the phone is too hot to charge. It's overheated. So I threw it in there, hopefully it'll charge up. Jesus, dude. Let's take a closer look at our progress. Wow. Yeah. Look at that. I almost want to touch this without gloves on. But no, that spray that I just used was Grease Lightning. I just used that to obviously degrease stuff. That's all I had at the moment, but I'll come back here with peroxide and some other cleaning agent to really clean this up better. I definitely need a better scrub brush. That one sucked. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to just like skin the dash of everything and put it back for aesthetics and hold the gauge cluster, or if I'm just gonna go raw dog it with a bar. But I'm to the point where I really shouldn't have to worry about the interior much more, except for plugging everything back up. I'm not gonna worry about the door cards just yet. I'll get to those. That's more of an aesthetic thing. That's like, I can do that any point in time. The priority was getting this interior removed and cleaned out, because I could not stand 1 minute more of that rat smell. Just over it. It was so ridiculous. I think tomorrow night, after I'm done with all the other stuff I gotta take care of, we're gonna start on the fun stuff, cleaning up the engine bay. Obviously get rid of all the air conditioning stuff, anything that's unnecessary, like our fan relay controller, whatever that thing is, a module. I will be cutting out this firewall. It's just going to give me a lot more playroom for the stuff that I want to do. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what else I want to do. The ECU and harness. Gotta figure out where I put the ECU that came with that car. We put it in a different car, and it is a working ECU. It's got a couple quirks, like it won't trigger the fuel pump anymore. So I planned on bypassing that anyways and put it on a switchboard. One of the biggest things I have to take care of is I have to undress this transmission. Both of these are O1Es. They're both 6-speed manuals for these B5S4s, all the way to C5s. This one came out of an all-road, so it's got transmission cooler lines. It's also got a different gear ratio too, so I'm curious to see what that's going to be like. Let's see. But this motor has wiring harness and pretty much everything that I need to swap over to that motor to get it running. And all I gotta do is figure out where I put the black ECU. I think I might have it just either sitting on my welding bench in my garage or just sitting in the trunk of another car. Aside from that, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I have a spare anyways. Here's one. Let's see. This came out of the red A6. So I could probably use this. It did just fine. It goes to that motor. So if all this fails, if I can't find the one that came with that car, I'll just do that one. Funny enough, that black one's actually tuned for RS6 turbos on factory fueling. So technically, I could probably just slap that in and make a lot of power. I have no idea. But no matter what, you know, I want to get Brad Watkins tuning this thing. So far, he's the guy to tune everything else me and my friends have, and he's been phenomenal. The guy gets up middle of the night to you know, help me out. I think he's got like I think there's like a 3-hour difference between me and him. So that's where I'm at currently. I think I will end this episode with that for now, because I really need to start putting content out. You know, my channel has been dead for a hot minute because I haven't put anything on that channel in years, probably like 10 years at least, maybe like 12 or 13. So I'm just gonna start posting stuff, but I am gonna focus on this drift build. And it should be awesome. I did make a list. Let's go over the list real quick. So we pulled the Clutchmaster out of that one for Dom's car because his just blew up. I need a slave cylinder, so I just need to buy a Clutchmaster and slave cylinder combination. I'm gonna try to make that as cheap as possible. This is going to be a crazy budget build. The only reason I'm starting this now is because I have most of what I need. I do need a passenger rear caliper because that one got smoked. I'm pretty sure I already put it in the video. I do plan on going top mount with the KO3 turbos. So I've got like 8 or 10 of these things sitting around. They actually spin pretty good. So, you know, they feel good. There's not a lot of shaft play, so why not just spin those to the moon? You know, they're expendable. I would like to get a lightweight flywheel. I really would. Currently, the only flywheels that I have are 200,000 mile factory flywheels. You know, can't exactly afford a $500 to $700 lightweight flywheel right now. I would like to, but you know, if I can't secure one somehow, then we're just throwing factory back in there. Do need to figure out what I want to do with the e-brake. I have this super cheapo one. This guy right here. I've had this for like 2 years now. Just didn't know what I wanted to put it in. And I really don't want to use it, you know. If I do, I gotta modify the handle because I hate the way this handle is. I can't stand it, and I know I can flip it around, but it's still not chill. I don't like it. I would rather equip myself with like a Chase Bays or, you know, equivalent or something good. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm on a budget. ABS removal bypass, we're obviously going to be running a handbrake on here. I have a B5S4 Santorin that, you know, I picked up for 400 bucks and I'm dying to put back together, and it needs an ABS module. This one I can just go full manual hardline with a what is it called? Brake bias, and have that settled. So the front seats, the factory ones are currently disgusting. I might run with them for just a little bit, I can go on Marketplace and probably find, you know, some really old used buckets that, you know, can be just fine. So I'll probably end up doing that. Definitely need to get a wideband. I'm gonna go AEM like I always do. I haven't had one fail on me yet. I've had a couple of other brands fail pretty quick, but AEM, I haven't had a single fault with any of them just yet. Do need to weld the center diff. I want to use that all-road transmission, so you know, we'll weld the center diff. That'll be a cool video. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I want to swap the rear differential with my purple S4. That's what I want to do. I'm a little worried that the differential in that black S4 is super rusty. I have not been into that car yet. I don't know. I'll pick up some PP Blaster tomorrow and spray everything down there. That way it's just soaking with a deruster, and we'll see how that goes. But I want to swap that diff with my purple S4 because that one's got a welded diff, and I don't want to just ruin 2 S4 differentials. That would be stupid. And I just remembered I have one right there. Why wouldn't I use this one? Oh yeah, this one's messed up. The diff is okay, but it's the snout that has a really bad, it's got studs broken off and it's super rusty, so I have to like drill and tap those out or weld them out or something. Also, there was something else that was rusted out and basically junk. But you know, worst comes to worst, then I'll mess with this. But that's my current spare. That one I'm saving for my Santorum. If I do a manual swap, which I would like to do a manual swap. I have everything for a manual swap. Might do it, but that'll be a cool video. I've already done it once and it really wasn't horrible. It's just, I'd like to have a little extra income for that again. So, swap video from purple. I would like to go water meth. Now, I got my buddy's water meth kit here. And I think it's an AEM water meth kit. Yeah, so we do have a kit. I don't own it though. So I might have to own it. I might have to buy it from them. But my plan is to not run an intercooler and just run water meth. I mean, it's a drift car, it's purpose built. I'm not gonna be daily driving this thing. So I would really like to have the turbos up top, of course, above the engine, and just pipe straight to the intake, you know, the throttle body, and just, you know, inject water meth either, you know, at the throttle body inlets or, you know, somewhere else, maybe somewhere in the intake. I don't know, we'll see. Or I'll just have them injected up here, that way they can atomize before they hit that intake manifold. So that's what I would like to do. Again, that's money. If I can't do water meth, then I'll probably go intercooler, but I still don't want to, because those tiny little KO3s produce so much heat that, you know, it's just not very, it's not efficient for a drift car. So that's something I gotta figure out. I need to, so for the radiator fan and switch, I'll explain that. Where is the radiator? There's a condenser. I've got 2 cores over here. What? Here's a core. I should have multiple radiators. Hold up. That's a core. Where is the radiator? The last time I looked, I had 2 or 3. Condenser. Radiator. There's one. Okay, so I put them somewhere safe. So radiator, condenser, but I should have 2 more somewhere. They might be in my garage. So what I want to do is obviously remove the factory fan and the factory fan shroud, and either go one single unit and build a shroud around this, and then have the fan control on a toggle. That's the plan. That's what I want to do. That way, if you know the fan bypass relay fails on the Bay 5 S4s, which is a very problematic issue with these cars, you know, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to, it'll be on a powered toggle. So that's the radiator fan switched. So fuel pump switched. I think I covered that already. The fuel pump was not getting triggered in this car. I also believe it wasn't getting enough voltage either. So with those 2 things, I'm just going to manually trigger the fuel pumps, and I'm going to feed a 12-volt connection relayed to the fuel pump. So switchboard. And I'm also not sure if that fuel pump even works in there, which is fine. I should be replacing it anyways. Let's see. Find ECU. Obviously, I gotta find it. Gauges. I do want to run analog gauges for fuel pressure, oil pressure, and coolant temps. I probably won't do coolant temp because the coolant temp gauge on these cars work just fine. I don't think I've heard or seen anybody having issues with coolant temp gauges. They just don't really go out. Obviously, tuned by Watkins. If you go to German Elite Tuning, you know, just go there. Like, it's awesome, man. I do need to get turbo drain seals because I'm not going to make that mistake again. My most recent build, we reused the turbo seals because the kit that we ordered didn't come with them. So reused them, cleaned them up the best I could, but they're leaking. So we just need to order a few sets. Oh, I was looking for this. Okay. Well, I could potentially... No, I shouldn't. I've got 2 masters right here, and I could potentially... No, I'm not going to. We're gonna struggle, but I don't want to be the guy who goes to the track and blows out that master clutch immediately. So I'm sure I've got more to add to the list, but as of right now, that's where we're at. So stick around, subscribe, check out my other socials like TikTok, and you know, that's kind of the only one I am active currently on. So there's TikTok, but trying to think of anything else. Yeah, just subscribe. You know, I plan on uploading pretty regularly now, even if it's not solely B5S4 stuff. There's plenty of other things that I'm going to be uploading, so just stay tuned. You know, subscribe, hit like if you want, or don't, that's fine. Throw comments under the video. If you got any questions, I will reply. That I can guarantee. Until then, I'll start working on my other socials, and that'll be a little easier for me to communicate with everyone. So yeah, that's it for now. Next video, we're going to play with all the fun stuff: transmission, engine, turbos. I'm going to cut up the engine bay, so stick around, come back for that. Oh yeah, let's see if the mini fridge did the trick.
What the hell is that? Yeah, there's a spider up there. Hey, 41%. It was at 2. And it refused to charge. When did I squish a spider on there? I have an open can in there too, dude. Oh, why can't I wipe this off? What is happening? Get off! Dude, what is that a magnetic spider? Is that inside my case? I'm over it. Alright. Okay. I don't see anything floating in there. But if I do, it's all good. It's just protein.